Hey, I'm Anthony Romano, and this video is going to be on some tips for eating out on keto. Okay, so for starters, again, KETONES shirts are dropping very soon, and they're available on my website along with coaching. Soon programs dropping, and my free expert keto whey protein guide, which is free for a limited time, dropping soon, and my 1,000 subscribers, thank you, free group coaching session on YouTube Live, dropping soon as well. So click notification bell to be up to date. Okay, we've got a lot of fun stuff happening with this channel, and I'm very grateful to each and every one of you. So let's get into tips for eating out on keto. So, tips for eating out on keto, okay? There's a couple directions I'm going to take this video, but I'm going to also show you some examples that I used yesterday with my cousin Felice. We were both going grab some shawarmas, and we wanted to keep it keto, so I got some great little practical footage here too. The gram, but for the vlog. All right, we got Felice here. We got some nice piano keto.
Yes, look at that. We got some chicken, got some lettuce, keeping it healthy.
That's how you keep the keto on the go. Just a quick little clip to show you can eat out on keto. This is a mountain,
I know. Not him.
But let's get into the directions you're going to take this, okay? First of all, you have to assess your goal with eating out on keto, because number one, the more ketogenic you can keep things, the better. The primary variables you're keeping in mind here are keeping it in ketosis, so not having any hidden sugars or anything, and keeping your calorie count in check. So, a lot of people think, oh, I thought I don't have to count calories on keto. Calories and hormones are the two sides of the fat loss coin. I always explain this, but basically, calories are the quantitative metric, and hormones, aka low insulin, aka ketogenic state, fasting state, the more you can influence hormones is the qualitative side of fat loss and body composition. So everybody knows the quantitative side, but there's two sides to every coin, and if you act up on either side, you're going to veto your results. So if you have 1,000 calorie deficit, but it's all from junk food and Snickers bars, your insulin's going to be jacked up and you're not going to be losing any body fat. But if you have 5,000 calories of just low insulin food, like nuts, okay, you're going to be in a low insulin state, but the energy surplus is going to prevent you from actually losing body fat. So keep in mind, calories and keeping it keto is the main variable for eating out on keto. So, of course, make sure you pick a place where you're certain there's no extra hidden sugars being slipped in, all that other stuff. Okay, generally salad, eating like a vegetarian and a carnivore is the most common route for a lot of people. Slap them together, think just veggies, meats, whatever, dairy products if you can digest them. That's the type of stuff that you're going to want, right? So cheeses, etc. Now, besides the fact that I've coached people of all different types of dieting persuasions, okay, the general rule of thumb is you want something filling, and you, of course, if you're already in a keto state, you're not reliant on sugar, and you're going to have these rapid blood sugar spikes. But the best options, get a Chipotle bowl, go to a sushi place and have just the fish, okay? Like I said, vegetarian, carnivore, any of those things are on the plate. You don't have to worry about jacking the fats up to the moon. Keto is not a high-fat diet. It is a low-carb diet. It becomes a high-fat diet as a byproduct of it being low carbs to basically boost how you feel, okay, by having higher blood ketone concentrations. So, now, I explained that, you want to keep it keto, right? But remember, there's two sides to every coin. So depending on how aggressive your fat loss goal is, you can kind of substitute one side of the calorie, body composition equation here. So what I mean by this is, remember I said calories and hormones. Those are the two sides of body composition. So let's say you're out. You can do a great keto approach, and I'd highly recommend you keep it in ketosis, okay? KETONES. Keep it in the ketogenic state for fat loss purposes, okay? If your goal is lifestyle, eat as much calories as you want. But if your goal is aggressive, rapid fat loss in a very short time period, you're going to have to manage both of those variables, calories and keto state. So if you're more lenient, you know your goals better than I do. You know how aggressive you are, how lenient you are. The most aggressive approach is managing both. Now, for people who are still an aggressive approach, but want the best of both worlds. You can actually get away with a bit of carbs coming in, so that's going to destroy the keto state momentarily. But if your calories are still in check by the end of the day, and it didn't cause too much of a hormonal reaction, then you actually will still have great progress and great fat loss. Now, this can actually be beneficial because your leptin is basically the master regulator of your hunger, okay? So insulin is kind of like the in the moment micro scheme regulator of your hunger. Leptin is like the grandmaster. And in the long scheme of things, having rises in leptin, which will come from either having random insulin spikes or coming from high calorie, high energy intake, those are things that are going to spike your leptin. Leptin is basically trying to see how much food you eat per day and when you should be hungry or not, okay? So it won't be problematic to have a carb up day, but you don't need it, okay? So if you're going out and you have a little bit of carb slip in, as long as it's a small amount and it's not from fructose, which is going to go to your liver and end ketosis and make it harder to get back in, then you actually can get away with, if you're in a pinch, eating an Egg McMuffin sandwich, okay? Presumed that it was not cooked in crappy canola oil. You can get a little bit of bread coming in, a little bit of clean starch coming in, and that will end ketosis, but as long as your calories are, if you're the type of person, you can keep the calories in check by the end of the day, or use that glycogen up from the starch in a targeted keto fashion, watch my video on that one, then you can maintain ketosis again and basically suffer no flaws. So your options are for aggressive fat loss, keep it keto and keep the calories in check. If you have to sacrifice keto at the expense of if you have to sacrifice keto, then keep the calories in check and then use one of these sort of glycogen affecting techniques to get rid of that carbs, to use it up right away. The glycogen utilizing techniques, okay? So targeted keto or a carb backload. Watch my videos on those. But essentially, if you have to bite the bullet and have some carbs, you can use those carbs to your advantage and you can basically turn it into a good training day, or perhaps you've done it right after a big training day. And that's generally the gist of targeted keto and carb backloading. But you never want it to come from fructose, and you never want it to come from processed sweeteners because most of them are going to contain fructose or very, very modified, heightened reward reaction sugars. So basically stuff that's going to mess with you mentally because it's going to make you have a high reward response to a certain food, and you're not going to have as much satisfaction from other foods, or it's basically going to make you hungrier later in the day, or cause a very high insulin response. So keep it clean. That's the first general rule. Keep your calories and ketosis in check. If you're going to sacrifice ketosis, then do it in moderation. Don't do it more than 100 or so carbs. And whatever carbs you do consume, don't get them from fruits and use them up right after. Okay? That is the general guideline for using carbs up when you actually bite the bullet and have them during a ketogenic diet and you still want rapid fat loss. When you don't want rapid fat loss, when you're doing keto for lifestyle, for therapeutic reasons, you can sacrifice a little bit of sugar in here and there and still use those techniques as long as keto is your baseline. It's no problem to jump in and out, okay? But as far as the quickest fat loss possible, that's your measuring stick. And as far as maintaining keto in general, well, you can watch this clip from Felicia when we're having these amazing shawarma bowls from, especially too with these shawarma places, they always have halal meat, so basically it's blessed meat, but it's also from animals that are fed much higher quality diets, no GMOs basically, so you're getting very high quality food. So that's another thing too. I have a lot of Middle Eastern friends, and high quality Middle Eastern places deliver. You get great value for your buck too, and you get high quality meat most of the time, and high quality food in general. So you have that, and then also it can be filling. Like, it can be so filling. Like, Felicia and I were even messaging each other the other day because we were so full. Like, I could not eat when I got home from just this one shawarma bowl, which we both used to break our fast. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow my Instagram, like, click the notification bell. Stay tuned for Keto Gain shirts and for the free group coaching session for my 1,000 subscriber live stream. And check out my website for coaching, services, and future merchandise. Thank you very much. Anthony Romano. Peace.